In today's video, we delve into a profound and timeless subject, overcoming loneliness the Stoic way. Loneliness is an emotion that affects us all at some point in our lives, but ancient Stoic wisdom offers powerful strategies to navigate and transcend these feelings. The Stoics, with their deep understanding of human nature and resilience, provide us with 12 invaluable strategies that can help transform solitude into strength and isolation into introspection. We'll explore techniques like embracing adversity, seeking stillness, and accepting things as they are. Each strategy is designed to help you find inner peace, cultivate self-awareness, and build resilience. These methods are not just theoretical, they've been practiced and refined over centuries, proving their effectiveness in fostering a content and fulfilling life. Imagine using the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus to turn moments of loneliness into opportunities for personal growth and self-discovery. Whether you're facing a difficult time or simply seeking ways to enrich your emotional well-being, these Stoic strategies will provide you with the tools you need. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of philosophy enthusiasts. If you find these insights helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below about which strategy resonates most with you. Your engagement helps us bring more valuable content to you and others on the path to a more thoughtful and fulfilling life. Let's embark on this journey together and unlock the Stoic secrets to overcoming loneliness. Number 1. Move your body. When the weight of the world seems to be crashing down, movement can be your life raft. Exercise is more than just burning calories, it's an elixir for the soul. With each stride, or stretch, you engage in a profound dialogue with your innermost self, reinforcing your resilience with every contraction of your muscles. You're not running away from your struggles, but rather running towards clarity and inner peace. Picture this: Sarah, a busy corporate professional, often found herself overwhelmed by feelings of isolation and melancholy. Her days blurred together in a monotonous routine of work, stress, and loneliness. But one day, she laced up her running shoes and hit the park trails. At first, it was grueling, her body protesting against the unaccustomed exertion. But soon, something shifted. With each footfall, she felt lighter, as if shedding the emotional baggage that had weighed her down. The rhythmic pounding of her feet became a mantra, a drumbeat of rebirth. The fresh air filled her lungs, and the endorphins coursed through her veins, casting a warm glow over her once gloomy outlook. That simple act of putting one foot in front of the other ignited a spark deep within Sarah, a flame that illuminated the darkness of her mind. She didn't need to climb mountains or run ultramarathons, just moving with purpose, whether that meant dancing alone in her living room or striding through the park, became her daily revolution against despair's chains. Each motion was a strike against the shackles of sadness, a reminder that she possessed the power to forge her own path towards healing and happiness. Sarah's journey teaches us that the antidote to life's heaviness can be as simple as activating the remarkable vessel that is our body. Number 2. Be a better friend to yourself. In the depths of our loneliest moments, we can be our own worst enemies, berating ourselves with a cruelty we would never inflict upon a friend. Yet the path to conquering isolation and despondency begins with extending the same compassion inwards that we so readily offer others. Imagine scaling a towering mountain, its precipitous slopes littered with hazards that seem insurmountable. Would you heap scorn upon a fellow climber who stumbled, or would you reach out a steadying hand, offering encouragement and belief in their ability to persevere? This philosophy echoes the teachings of Cleanthes, the ancient Stoic sage, who once admonished a person ruthlessly castigating themselves, saying, "Remember, you're not addressing a bad person." With those few words, he sliced through the pernicious cycle of loneliness breeding self-flagellation, which in turn drives us deeper into isolation's abyss. Like a mirror reflecting our internal battles, his wisdom reveals how solitude breeds a harsh inner critic that erects impregnable barriers to the warmth of human connection. Embracing self-friendship isn't about saccharine affirmations or deluding yourself with false comforts. It's the raw, unvarnished honesty of acknowledging your intrinsic worth, even when teetering on the precipice of feeling unworthy. Consider Marcus, a middle-aged divorcee who, awash in feelings of failure and abandonment, constantly berated himself as a subpar father and spouse. Yet one day, an old friend challenged him, "Would you speak to me the way you speak to yourself?" That simple question was a awakening. Marcus realized his harsh self-talk was the very thing severing his ties to those who loved him. From the streets of ancient Athens to modern times, this clarion call echoes, cruel self-criticism bars the door to the authentic connection we crave. It's an invitation to rewrite the narrative in our minds, to transform the enemy within into a steadfast ally. You're not fundamentally flawed, you're a human being, rich in complexity, forever evolving. Unlocking this truth is the master key, not just to self-acceptance, but to opening yourself to a world where your light can finally shine through. Number 3, be satisfied more. The pursuit of dreams can be a double-edged sword, each achievement fueling an insatiable hunger for more rather than providing lasting fulfillment. We find ourselves caught in a paradox where success only breeds a gnawing sense of dissatisfaction, blinding us to the beauty that surrounds our present circumstances. This narrative plays out all too often, echoed in the stories of celebrities who attain dizzying heights of fame and accolades, only to be ensnared by anxious discontent as they relentlessly chase that next elusive big break. True happiness, however, lies not in the trophies adorning our mantles but in the quality of our relationship with ourselves. Contentment is the embrace of right here, right now, taking stock of our current place in life's journey with gratitude rather than constantly comparing our standing to an idealized destination. It's the understanding that the ceaseless quest for more is often what leads us farther away from the joy we seek. Consider Sam, a high-powered attorney who had seemingly achieved the life he'd always coveted, a luxurious home, an enviable paycheck, and the corner office. Yet he found himself miserable, each new conquest leaving him hungrier than before as his eyes remained fixed on the horizon. It was only after a health crisis forced him to hit pause that Sam recognized how he'd been sprinting blindly through life, lacked satisfaction in the present. As he stopped in his tracks to take stock of what truly mattered, his family, his sense of purpose, a profound peace settled over him. He realized his relentless ambition had not brought him clarity, but clouded his vision to the wealth of blessings already surrounding him. Embracing being over perpetual achieving doesn't mean abandoning our dreams, but rather adjusting our perspective to find gratitude in the journey itself. It's an invitation to stop anxiously awaiting the next big promotion or achievement to find joy, and instead experience the gift of each current, unfolding moment. For it's in this recalibrated mindset that we forge deep reserves of contentment impervious to the vagaries of loneliness or melancholy. Number 4, take a view from above. When steeped in the throes of personal turmoil, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture, for our immediate reality to become so massively inflated that it blots out all context. Yet there is profound wisdom in periodically zooming out to reorient ourselves, to gulp down a visceral reminder that we are but tiny threads woven into an infinitely vast, eternal tapestry. Imagine being able to transcend the vantage point of an ant crawling the surface of a basketball, able to finally behold the true scale and spherical nature of that which seemed so enormously flat and boundless from 6 inches off the ground. Like the ant, our human perspective is inherently limited. Even those who have nominally ruled empires spanning continents, like Marcus Aurelius, were prone to getting mired in the obsessive details of minor border skirmishes. It was only when the philosopher king forced himself to zoom out that he could perceive his grand domain for what it truly was, a smattering of insignificant specks, like ants squabbling over a crumb. We would be wise to follow Aurelius' example. For when we allow ourselves to transcend our blinkered, terrestrial view, we gain a radical new vantage point. Suddenly, the life or death urgency of our personal struggles is recontextualized amidst the grand cosmic scale. The hopes, fears, and petty spats that loom so enormously in the present are revealed as tiny blips in the grander pattern of humanity's cyclical dance across the eons. Consider Sally, who found herself drowning in despondency after a bad breakup, utterly convinced her life was shattered beyond repair. Yet one starkly clear evening, while walking alone and feeling desperately small under a summer sky stretching to infinity, she was struck by a profound perspective shift. She pictured her solitary existence as a mere flicker amidst the unfathomably vast, 14-billion-year genesis of the universe itself, the Big Bang, the birth of stars, and the gradual spark of life across the cosmos leading inevitably to her conscious contemplation at this very moment. In an instant, her personal anguish was recontextualized into an almost laughably tiny data point amid the enormity of space-time. While her sadness didn't disappear, she was finally able to embrace her struggle as an infinitesimal thread woven into the tapestry of human experience itself. Number 5. Learn to suffer with others. Loneliness and pain are inevitable traveling companions in life's journey. But we need not face them as solitary burdens. For there exists a transcendent power in the collective endeavor, whether scaling a mountain's precipice as a team, synchronized, or slicing through misty waters, or a circle of meditators seeking stillness amidst the tempest of their minds. These shared experiences forge connections more profound than mere companionship. They awaken something primal within, a reminder that our struggles are not ours alone, but part of a timeless human chorus. Lock eyes with a fellow striver in those crucible moments, when every sinew strains against the gravity of adversity. Behold the mutually exposed vulnerability, the rallying sparks of grit and determination pushing you both through the pain barrier. It's here, in the firing forge of collective challenge, that the true bedrock of community is formed, not in the easy comforts, but in the elemental bonding of shared sacrifice and perseverance. This is the calling, to emerge from the safe harbors of solitary struggle and link arms, link spirits, with those who seek something greater than mere endurance. For when you unite in a sacred pact to overcome as one, you awaken reservoirs of strength that could never be tapped alone. The path transcends what was once an endless tunnel of darkness, becomes a journey of shared light. Lena's story illustrates this truth. Grappling with crippling anxiety, she had become a hermit, barricading herself from the terrors of the world. Until one day, she forced herself to attend a local hiking group's excursion. On the winding mountain trails, Lena found herself stumbling both literally and figuratively as her mental demons flared. Yet she kept pressing on, propelled by the encouraging words and steadying handholds of her new trail mates. With every faltering step forward, she felt her burden lightening, bolstered by her newfound brothers and sisters in arms. What had loomed so debilitatingly enormous when shouldered alone, now became defanged when faced as a unified force. And in that crucible of collective perseverance, Lena rediscovered an essential truth: while we all must weather the storms of darkness, we need never face them alone. Number 6, asked for help. True bravery does not lie in the stubborn solitude of single combat, but in the wisdom to recognize when reinforcements are needed. For even the most lion-hearted warriors understood that there is value in a united shield wall, that no matter how steely our individual resolve, we cannot weather every onslaught alone. Marcus Aurelius, philosopher king and battle-hardened general, illuminated this truth: be not ashamed to call for aid, like a soldier breaching a rampart. You have a mission, and if you've taken a wound and require a comrade to pull you up, so be it. These were not just the musings of an ivory tower thinker, but the battle-tested wisdom of a man who had seen the mightiest crumble when pride overcame pragmatism. His words echo an inherent human truth, that our gravest menaces, be they ogres of loneliness or despair, cannot be simply soldiered through alone. It's a rallying call to seek your confederates, to forge your own legion of stalwart supporters girded to help you endure the onslaught. For it is in these modern-day trench networks, the support groups, recovery circles, or digital communities, where we discover that the path to perseverance is not solitary, but a shared trail of solidarity. Here, hierarchies are flattened as equals lockstep, bonding not through barked orders but the mute language of having mutually stared into the abyss. This arena breeds no conscripts, only volunteers bonded by the knowledge that the true strength lies not in self-reliance, but in interdependence. When alcoholic John finally hit rock bottom, his pride kept him isolated until a friend essentially staged an intervention, coaxing him into a community support group. There, surrounded by others bravely sharing their naked struggles, John realized his inherent fallacy, that his ability to white-knuckle his way to sobriety alone was a mirage. Only by locking shields with fellow warriors could he truly hope to rout his demons. With transformed humility, he allowed others' outstretched hands to pull him back from the precipice, welcoming in the reinforcements that would prove potent enough to finally win his battle. Number 7, focus on your path. In this frenetic world of endless noise and intersecting lives, carving your own path demands a special discipline, the ability to blissfully tune out the chaos and keep an unwavering stride towards your chosen destination. The ancient Stoics termed this emia, a heightened awareness that though 1,000 other journeys crisscross our own, we must remain hypervigilant to our singular bearing. For the true test lies not in meticulously plotting our course, but in possessing the intense self-assurance required to resist the endless temptations to veer off track. Will we be lured by another's seeming success, unmoored by their very public failure? Without an unshakable commitment to our own timeline and priorities, we become leaves scattered by the whims of each passing breeze. This resolute focus doesn't emerge automatically, but through painstaking inner work to silence the ego's insatiable hunger for perpetual validation. It's the continual reminder that each person's journey is utterly unique, incomparable mile markers on diverging routes. To constantly measure our present progress against someone else's is to inevitably breed dissatisfaction, disconnection, and even depression. When Jenna launched her small business, she immersed herself in entrepreneurial social media circles for inspiration. At first, the hustle wisdom and rags to riches stories lit a powerful fire within her. But over time, she found herself increasingly demoralized, incessantly comparing her modest growth to the seemingly overnight success stories littering her feeds. The more Jenna cyberstalked competitors, the more insecurity and misery took root, until she was utterly derailed from her own path. Only when she took a social media sabbatical could she finally tune out the noise and refocus on her own authentic milestones and benchmarks for fulfillment. With a recent self-awareness, Jenna's business began flourishing once more. Maintaining this steadfast emia demands constant vigilance against the ego's pathological diversions and society's unrelenting pressure to join the stampede. Yet that arduous inner work is paid back exponentially through an unshakable sense of purpose, authentic contentment, and resilient self-assurance impervious to the fluctuating tides of collective opinion. Number 8. Remember the impermanence of things. In the grand cosmic drama, even the most brilliant stars inevitably burn out, their light becoming an echo, then a whisper, then silence. The ancient Stoics understood this profoundly, recognizing that the grandest fame and most dazzling accolades were mere fleeting visitors to the eternal stage of existence. As Marcus Aurelius mused, whether emperor or plebeian pauper, we all ultimately shuffle off to the same modest address beneath the soil. Our quests for glory, for importance, for immortality in the history books, these are the indulgent phantoms that seduce us with promises of permanence. Yet they are mirages, delusions of significance obscuring the inexorable truth that we are transient players in an ancient, cyclical saga. Seek transit gloria, the ages whisper, do not foolishly chase lasting fame, for it is impermanent. This is not a call to resign ourselves to despair, but quite the opposite, a rallying cry to re-anchor our efforts and motivations in what endures, virtue, kindness, a commitment to serving the higher good. Not in chasing the shifting sands of empty acclaim, but in leaving footprints of ethical integrity that etch into humanity's bedrock. For when the final curtain falls, it will not be the roars of the crowd echoing into posterity, but the quality of our actions, the compassion and honor with which we walk this mortal coil. This wisdom is embodied in the old adage of the two frogs. Upon a reveler drunkenly dropping a dead frog down an abandoned well, his companion simply remarked, "It's not the falling in, but how you make a way to climb out." One frog puffed his chest out, embellishing tales to ensure his legend would never be forgotten at the dank bottom. But the other simply took stock of his new reality and marshaled his determination for the climb ahead. While the storyteller's words reverberated briefly then died, it was the steadfast actions of the unsung frog echoing upwards towards the light. Remembering our transient nature is not an invitation to fatalism, but to pour our finite energy into what leaves an eternal imprint. For in that ultimate reckoning, it is not the hollow bravado that transcends, but how we alchemized our impermanence into a lasting legacy of substance. Number 9. Embrace adversity. Every setback, every rejection, every challenge, and every heartache is not a signal to retreat, it's the universe's unique invitation to test your strength and engage in a duel with destiny. Seneca's timeless wisdom tells us that the path filled with adversity is where we truly discover ourselves. While smooth sailing is enjoyable, it's the storms that reveal the true captain within us. When life doesn't align with our desires, it's easy to fall into disappointment. Yet, it's precisely these trials, the friction and resistance we face, that polish us into better versions of ourselves. It's during the moments when we are knee-deep in struggle, when plans fall apart and dreams seem distant, that we are presented with a golden opportunity. consider the story of Thomas Edison, who faced thousands of failed attempts before successfully inventing the light bulb. Each failure was not a defeat but a step towards mastery, revealing the resilience and ingenuity within him. This isn't about wishing for an easier life but about embracing the chaos, wrestling with it, and emerging stronger and wiser. Let each trial be a lesson in resilience, a practice in virtue, and a step towards excellence. The sweetness of victory is never as fulfilling without the bitter taste of battles fought and obstacles overcome. So, when life doesn't dance to your rhythm, dance anyway. It's in these unscripted moments that you are crafting a stronger, happier you. Embrace adversity, for it is through these challenges that you build character and find your true strength. By facing life's storms head-on, you transform hardships into stepping stones, leading you towards a more resilient and fulfilled existence. Number 10. Don't suppress your emotions. Feeling lonely or down can be like carrying a mountain on your shoulders. Yet, even the greatest minds of antiquity grappled with such burdens. Seneca, wielding his pen like a sword, crafted 4 poignant essays titled Consolations. These were not just words but lifelines thrown into the turbulent seas of human emotion. He offered a lesson as vital now as it was then: don't shove your feelings into a box and toss away the key. It's not about donning armor of indifference but about recognizing and navigating the storm of emotions, not as their prisoner but as their master. Understanding why a cloud of sadness hangs over you is the first step. Acknowledging that it's okay to feel and to embrace the complexity of human connections, that's where true strength lies. It's a delicate dance between mind and heart, each taking the lead when the moment calls. For instance, consider the story of J.K. Rowling, who battled depression and hardship before creating the Harry Potter series. Instead of suppressing her emotions, she channeled them into a writing, which not only brought her solace but also touched millions of lives worldwide. So, when the weight of loneliness or sorrow feels unbearable, remember you're not being asked to silence your heart but to listen to it, understand it, and navigate through it. The path through is not about suppression but about acceptance and wisdom. It's about finding the balance where mind and heart work together, leading you through the storm to a place of peace and strength. By embracing your emotions, you gain mastery over them, turning potential sources of pain into pathways to resilience and personal growth. In doing so, you transform your struggles into powerful narratives of perseverance and triumph. Number 11. Seek stillness. In a world that never stops talking, scrolling, and moving, harnessing stillness might seem like an ancient secret. Yet, it is a powerful remedy for the soul, especially when loneliness or sadness comes knocking. Picture yourself as a rock amidst the ocean's fury, as Marcus Aurelius suggests, standing firm against the waves of worry, doubt, and loneliness that crash against you. Seeking stillness is not about ignoring the chaos but finding your center amidst it. Slow your breath, steady your mind, and plant your feet firmly on the ground. This moment of stillness is more than a pause, it's where the magic happens. In this calm, creativity blooms, connections deepen, and joy bubbles up from within. For example, consider the practice of mindfulness meditation. Many people, like the renowned author and meditation advocate Jon Kabat-Zinn, have found that even a few minutes of daily stillness can transform their lives. By sitting quietly, focusing on their breath, and letting thoughts pass without judgment, they cultivate a deep sense of peace and resilience. In tranquility, you will find the strength to face the world, not as it whirls around you, but as you choose to engage with it. Embracing stillness helps you not just to survive the storm but to learn the dance of the waves, moving with a grace that turns loneliness and depression into moments of profound peace and purpose. By regularly seeking stillness, you cultivate an inner sanctuary that provides clarity and strength. This practice enables you to respond to life's challenges with calm and composure, transforming turbulent emotions into opportunities for growth and understanding. Embrace stillness as a vital part of your journey toward a balanced, fulfilled life. Number 12. Accept things as they are. In the whirlwind of life, it's easy to drown in a sea of what ifs and if onlys. However, the key to overcoming loneliness and depression often lies in accepting things as they are. This acceptance isn't about surrendering to despair or admitting defeat, it's about finding harmony in chaos, discovering unexpected lessons in disappointment, and drawing strength from life's unpredictability. When we accept the present moment as it is, rather than wishing it were different, we unlock profound peace and clarity. Acceptance is not about passivity, it's an active engagement with life on its own terms. It means finding purpose and happiness in the reality unfolding around us. Imagine your life as a river. You can exhaust yourself by struggling against the current, trying to return to a past moment or rush to a future one, or you can float, trusting the journey and finding joy in the scenery along the way. This philosophy is embodied in the concept of amor fati, a love of fate. It teaches us to cherish every twist and turn life presents, understanding that each serves a purpose in shaping who we are meant to be. Marcus Aurelius, a voice from the past, urges us to see that everything we add to our life's fire, joy, sorrow, triumph, or defeat, fuels our growth, illuminating our path to greatness. For instance, consider the story of J.K. Rowling, who faced numerous rejections before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Instead of being defeated by setbacks, she accepted them as part of her journey, allowing these experiences to fuel her resilience and creativity. By embracing our experiences not as obstacles but as opportunities, we cultivate resilience and a deep, unwavering contentment. Acceptance transforms our perspective, helping us see that even in adversity, there is a hidden gift that contributes to our personal evolution. Engage with this practice and witness the transformation within yourself. These Stoic principles are not just words, they are a blueprint for a life filled with resilience and profound contentment. If your spirit seeks guidance, join us through the link below. Embark on this journey and discover how ancient wisdom can reshape your world, offering a rich and rewarding experience. Thank you for joining us on this insightful journey through the Stoic strategies for overcoming loneliness. We hope you found these ancient wisdom teachings to be both enlightening and empowering. Remember, loneliness is a natural part of the human experience, but with the tools provided by Stoicism, we can transform it into an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. By embracing adversity, finding stillness, and accepting life's unpredictability, we can cultivate resilience and find inner peace even in the midst of solitude. If you enjoyed this video and found value in our discussion, we invite you to subscribe to the channel for more thought-provoking content. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends who can benefit from these insights, and leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Your participation helps us continue to create meaningful content for our community.